that's going on at the moment. It's crazy town in the world with coronavirus. Studios are shutting their doors. Gyms will be closing their doors. Yoga studios as well. Pilates is a real connection of mind, body, and spirit. And if you're being vigilant just with your hygiene, you're isolating and locking yourself away from the world, please consider that looking online and finding a workout online and just doing 5-10 minutes a day of a workout is imperative for your mental health, not just your hygiene health. So I'm going to introduce you to a couple of exercises you can do. I call them pre-Pilates exercises, and it's just to get you finding your foundation. How do you know you're activating your core enough? So you're going to come down onto your back. Let's have the feet hip width apart, all 10 toes facing forward. And you're going to take 2 fingers and you're going to place those fingertips on your hip bones, on the actual pointy top of the hip bones. And we're feeling for the fleshy part on the inside of those hip bones, just in here. And what I want you to do there is I want you to have a cough. And what you'll see as you cough, I'll show you here, the muscle, which is the transverse abdominis, it's about this thick, and it wraps around from your pubic bone along here, wraps around, connects into a muscle in your lower back called the multifidus. And the multifidus's role is to lengthen the spine. So we want to make sure that instead of you coughing and pushing those stomach muscles out, you want to feel that same amount of activation in the lower abdominals as you pull your stomach back and up without squeezing your bottom or tightening your hip flexors to do that. So if I was to show you that just kneeling up here, you want to feel a pulling in and up, and I'll show you on the side, letting it go, and then a pulling in and up without pulling in and up doing that. So we don't want to be ever tucking under or shortening the spine, nor do we want to be arching. So we want to stay in this relatively neutral position and really bury the belly button back into the spine and up into the rib cage to give that hollowing out sensation of the lower abdominals, so that when you're initiating and executing all of the exercises, they're being driven by this powerhouse. So just let's find that a little bit here. You're going to bring both knees up into a tabletop, knees over the hips, and you shouldn't be able to see your feet. So your feet are in line with your knees. We have right angles. Stretch through the arms. Find that connection so that belly button pulls back, and then we want the ribs to feel this connection with the belly button. So they're working together here. And from there, you're going to lower your right heel down, tap the mat, and lift back up. And you're going to lower, other side, tap, and lift back up. Connect the ribs to the belly button, lower and lift, and lower, and lift. And we're aiming for here, not creating any arch through that lumbar spine, yeah? So not pushing the lower back into the mat, using the bottom, but we're recruiting the stomach muscles to really keep that back from arching or tucking. So I like to think of there being a diamond shape like this, pubic bone, belly button. And if you're activating your stomach, you can just practice that. If you were to bring your chin to your chest and have a look, you don't want the pubic bone to be higher than the belly button. So you don't want this to happen as you pull in, nor do you want that to happen. So you just want to keep your thumb and your forefingers in this nice even line, and as you pull your stomach in and up, that stays there, yeah? The forefingers are never going to be higher than the thumbs, and vice versa. So staying in that neutral position. So yeah, you'll start with those heel taps. And it's a swing from the hip here. And up, and then you can go into exchanging for 4, 4, 3, pulling in 3, 2, connect the ribs to the belly button, 1, and then I like to bring in the opposite arm to the leg, and switch, and switch, and switch. And don't forget to breathe. The main thing is we want that lateral breathing or back breathing. Neck staying nice and long. And this is a great way to discover whether you're in your powerhouse, activating that core or not. Because if you're not, you'll be arching or you'll be tucking under. You know you're doing that one right when your stomach starts to really quiver, and you can actually have your legs nice and relaxed there. So there's one exercise that you can start with at home, which is really going to get that powerhouse and that stomach working. So that's a pre-Pilates exercise. So from there, I want you to try another one. Bring the knees and the feet together and squeeze the inner thighs here. Once again, you want to be in your neutral pelvis. Bring the arms to the ceiling and bringing the rib cage downwards so that the complete upper back is connecting with the mat here. You'll draw that down, widen the collarbones. You'll close those ribs towards or take them towards the hip bones, and you'll lift up and you'll reach in front of you as the collarbones stay nice and wide, and then you'll come back down. And we'll add the breath. You'll inhale, prepare as you come up, and you'll exhale, come back down. Inhale up, exhale back down. Inhale, come up, and you'll notice that I'm lengthening out of my neck rather than the chin leading the way. And you'll come up. The most common thing with Pilates when people first attempt it is that the front of their neck really overactivates, and we end up getting what we call neck abs, yeah? And we don't want neck abs. We want abs. We don't want neck abs. So you're going to think of minimizing the space between the back of the neck and the mat, and really lengthen out through this occipital, the base of your skull. And really lengthen that all the way out. And the head really doesn't move so much. It's the stomach that comes up and curls you up, as opposed to this or this. Yeah, so you want to keep the front of the neck out of the equation. So a few more of those, so you'll come up. Once again, you want to stay from tucking, refrain from tucking or arching. If you're feeling your back muscle, that multifidus through here, if you're feeling a slight tightening sensation through there, even before you do the exercise, if you pull in and up, and you feel that activating, you know that you're actually in your transverse abdominis, which is really linked to pelvic floor. Acts like a corset for the spine. Inhale, come up, hold, and back down. Great, so now that you've got that basic, we can begin the 100 here with you. And you'll bring both legs up, either one at a time or both together. And from there, squeeze through your inner thighs, curl up, reach forward. The tips of both shoulder blades are going to be in contact with the mat. And you're going to pump about 6 to 8 inches above the hips as you reach forward. 2, 3, 4, 5. And your breathing is in for 5 counts. And out. And in. And out. And in. In through the nose. Out through the nose. Keep the mouth closed. Inhale. Exhale. A bit harder while I'm talking, but in and out. And to make it a little trickier, you can take your legs up in your Pilates stance, all the way up, squeezing through the inner thighs. You can lower your legs down if you're not at a basic or foundational level. And you'll do your 100 here. Squeeze the inner thighs, pull up, and breathe out. And 2 more. And breathe out. And last one. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hug your knees into your chest. Rest your head. And you'll certainly be warm with those exercises there. So there you go. There's a few pre-Pilates exercises and your 100 to get you going, for your home workout. Be vigilant, take care of yourselves, the ones that you love, but also be kind, be tolerant of others. Everyone's living in fear, and look after you.